make a whole lot of noise. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I just figured out the microphones are in the earbuds themselves. So every time I adjust my ears, I'm touching the microphone. I didn't know that. I just figured that out last night.
Okay, well,
That's
I
weird.
seem to touch this one, but if I touch my ears, do you hear that too? Or is it more when I touch below? This.
Wow. Jeez, this is a good time of day to do this. We got David, husband. We got Mike, Devo. Sorry, Devo. I think that is.
I don't think I've ever seen you this early.
No, I was just in the green room all by myself, telling everybody, Francisco, good morning, telling everybody how ungodly early it is. It's like, who in the right mind ever gets out of bed before 10 o'clock in the morning? Oh my God, this is terrible. This is like working for a living. And I figure everybody else is probably just dealing with their hangovers from last night's comedy show. You know, out partying, staying up till 2 in the morning, sleeping till noon.
So yeah, I'm opposite. I'm up 4:30 every morning. I mean, but then 8, 9 o'clock, it's like, ooh, I'm tired. I gotta go to bed. I like working early.
Jonathan says he's up at 5 a.m. Wow, you're crazy. I'm glad I don't have your job. I have a USB mic on my camera. Hey. Oh, Sean is up. She wasn't up partying last night.
Well, you don't know that. Maybe she was.
She could have a hangover too. My cousin David, husband, who I virtually never talked to. I can't remember the last time I actually saw him in person. He's on. That's amazing. Boy, we should do this more often. I'm getting in touch with people I never talked to.
See, now you know why us early birds like to. We early birds, us.
Bob O'Donnell's up. He wasn't partying last night. So y'all can make comments and ask us questions. We're in the green room, so it's kind of meant to be comedy related, but it doesn't have to be, I guess, does it?
Well,
we're the masters of all knowledge. You can ask us anything.
And don't we always turn everything comedy related, so it doesn't even have to start comedy related.
Right. It's just like Click and Clack. We got to come up with a catchy little names like Click and Clack.
Well,
Car Talk. You don't listen to that, that's right.
We'll have to see what other people have an idea.
Sean says, I don't think the sun rises till 11 a.m. Yes, I'm with you on that one. Absolutely.
Hey, Bob. B.O.B. Bob is here.
Is that Bob Comedy? B.O.B. Bob Comedy?
What?
Is that the Bob who named his company Bob Comedy?
Oh, okay. It's Bob.
I know
Silly
who Bob is. I know who Bob is, but Bob Comedy just popped into my head. That was like 6 months ago.
Bob bike rider, Bob teacher, Bob silly man.
Oh, no wonder why we get along. I'm a teacher and a bike rider too.
There you go.
So how's the weather out there in the lobster claw ham state?
I live in Michigan. I live right here, West Michigan. It's actually nice. The heat wave broke. I don't know how long it's supposed to last, but this morning it was like in the 60s. I have the door open, the air's off. It's absolutely, oh, sorry, I'm flashing everybody. It's absolutely fabulous.
Not me. I got my bacon shirt on today.
Okay, before we say anything, what the heck happened on the green room last night that the thumbnail froze? I don't want to do it again. It'll freeze. And I was like, okay, look at my guns.
That's going to be the new thumbnail.
Flaps. I know. I was like, why would that be the image that our entire 27-minute video froze on?
But when the beginning of the show froze, I went like this just to be funny, to pretend it froze, and it actually froze while I was doing this. And you cut it off. I got to reload it now.
Well, because it just keeps going with my hand in the beginning. It's like, oh, Jareth. I'm like, well, that's irritating. And then I don't like to have the freeze on there. But so what's everybody up to?
Jonathan 109. Is that Las Vegas?
But I like
Well,
desert heat.
Las Vegas, that's a cool breeze, right?
I
That's not
love
hot.
Nevada. That's why
Plus,
you
it's
have to
dry.
get up early, Jonathan, before it gets to
No.
be triple digits.
Yesterday, way up here in Maine, it was 95 degrees and 85% humidity. So that's even worse. Because I was in Tucson, Arizona. It was 112, and I'll tell you what, it was a cool breeze and comfortable, better than Maine.
Okay, you sounded like Forrest Gump. Isn't he from Greensboro or something?
I'm not a smart man, Laurie, but I know what comedy is. Life is like a box of chocolates. It
Did you?
doesn't last as long for fat people.
Okay, now you just sound like you're trying to be Kennedy's mom. Did you notice
Oh,
I always have straws? It's not good for the environment, but I think it's better if I'm going to drink tea. I don't want my tea to get all stained. I
you
always
know
feel
what?
like I'm on here sucking away at a straw.
Yeah, well, I hate when I'm drinking a coffee and I got a white styrofoam cup and I put it down and I look at the cup and it's got my lipstick all over the front of the cup.
I
This
hate
doesn't
that.
look good.
Hate that. And you pull it out of the, well, you wouldn't put a styrofoam cup in the dishwasher, but okay, you know, with my vision, see
Well, you should be able to tell just by that
Seattle.
tongue.
Seattle.
Seattle Starfax.
Okay, but you're making me dizzy. Oh dear Lord. I'm
Uh-oh, my little
I'm
dog.
I'm still dog sitting. I think she's going
Does that
home
mean you have
today.
to take the dogs out again?
Well, my hound dogs are outside. But this cute little
Yeah,
Bermadoodle.
my hound dog, crying all the time. Brr, brr.
Okay, what are you guys up to out there? Talk to us, because Jareth's starting to sing.
I'm not used to having so many comments. I'm just flabbergasted. We got to stop doing this at 8 o'clock at night. Do it at 8 o'clock in the
Sean, you're
morning.
kidding. Sean says, so my boyfriend and I mess with each other all the time. I woke up the other day and someone wrote on my face while I was sleeping. That sounds like
Oh
a
my
prank
God,
we did
that
in
is
college.
funny. It sounds like something we do at Camp Fuba. That's a real place. I was just telling Lori that last night. We had up in Old Orchard Beach, a bunch of us rented a cottage for the summer. We called it Camp Fubar. And for those who don't know what Fubar is, Lori,
Fubar. F
is
up beyond all recognition.
yes, sir. And that was back in the 80s. And I remember one time getting really drunk, rolling over the back of the couch. I hurt my back. I couldn't go to work the next day. We had a keg going all the time, but I don't do that anymore.
Jonathan, are you referring to scary as as Jareth singing? Because I would agree with that.
Well, the way you wrote it, I think it's an acronym, but I don't know that one. So last time at band camp, all right, see, he just did what I do. I always start like 90% of my jokes start with so. I'm trying to break that habit. But that's how it starts right there. So last time at band camp, my cousin David says, so hot in Rhode Island yesterday that if you moved your eyes, you'd begin to sweat. That's how it was here yesterday. I was pulling lobsters out of the ocean, and they were already red and cooked. It was steamed lobsters right out of the ocean.
Jonathan, I don't remember where you're originally from. I know you're in the desert now, but you're not from the East Coast, are you? I have to get used to Jareth's Maine accent. See,
Yeah, Baba.
being from Michigan, I don't have an accent.
Yeah, Baba.
It's not the
Listen
least bit
to me.
nasally, is it? It's not.
I'm trying to think of. I used to deliver to Marvin Windows at Wall Road, Minnesota. Which actually they should change the name of the town to Marvin, Minnesota, since that's pretty much what the whole entire town is. It's pretty freaking amazing how every building you pass has Marvin Windows in it.
Oh, no, sweetheart, you can't do that.
Who let the dogs in? Ooh, ooh.
You have to be quiet.
So anyway, I was going to try to do a Minnesota accent, but I know I'm going to screw it up so bad because I have to practice that. So I'm just going to skip over that. So the last time at band camp, yes, Michael.
Sean, it sounds like you two are made for each other, pranking each other all the time.
Right. Michael Caine impression. A shrimp only Bobby. Hotels and all from down under.
Isn't that, what is there a meme or a joke about if you say my cocaine? It sounds like Michael Caine or something. I can't remember it now. My cocaine.
I don't like my cocaine.
Memorizing though, do you memorize things or do you just go off the top of your? I'm not good at memorizing like jokes that I didn't write. If I wrote them, I can memorize them. But like that thing I was just trying to talk about, my cocaine, not so much.
I do a little of both. I memorize a lot of songs. I memorize a lot. When I was younger, I used to memorize all the comedy records. I had, Monty Python, Cheech and Chong, all that stuff. I had them memorized, end it back to back. And now I don't listen to them really at all anymore because I'm too involved in my own comedy and listening to local comedies. Stewardess, I speak dog.
Charlie, what are you doing? Excuse me, honey. Can I help you? May I help you?
David says, once went to Camp Whiny Place. The more you whine, the less you had to do.
David has to leave now. Aw, come back again and visit us, David. Thanks for stopping by.
All right, we'll see you around. When David's from Rhode Island. Actually, Rhode Island's my home state too. I don't know if I told you that. Bristol, Rhode Island. Rhode Island, the smallest state with the biggest name. The official name of Rhode Island is the Providence Plantations and State of Rhode Island. Oh, that's not right. I always forget it. I don't say it often. See? Talk about memorizing. I don't say that often enough.
You're just a little Cliff Clavin there with all your fun facts, aren't you?
Yeah.
Sean, you two could be on it. You can have a reality show. The two of you, call it a day, call it a life in a day. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like people watching me.
I was saying last night we should be doing the Truman Show. We'll just leave the live on. I'd stick the camera in the corner of my apartment and leave it on 24/7.
We have a hard enough time getting viewers to watch us now. You're going to think people are going to just tune in and just watch you picking your nose or whatever you do?
So I was thinking about what you said about memorizing, and there's like a couple schools of thoughts on that. And one school is that you memorize your set, stand in front of a mirror, or record yourself at home practicing your set word for word, pause for pause. Everything you want to say on your set, you do it verbatim. Then you go and you do a show like that. And then there are other people who say, you just remember the points, like bullet points of your jokes, and then excuse me, and then you don't practice it. You want to remember what your jokes are, but you don't remember it word for word, moment for moment, pause for pause, so that when you tell your joke in an audience, it's more natural. I personally think you should do both of those things because I like to memorize. If I don't memorize what I'm going to do, then I get nervous at the mic and I screw up big time. So I have to at least remember all the jokes that I want to say, and I should have those jokes obviously memorized. And I usually write them down on the back of a business card in the palm of my hand, just in case I forget what I wanted to do next. But at the same time, you got to be flexible and allow for people to interrupt, heckle, ask. People will ask questions. People say the funniest things sometimes. But you got to be able to work with the audience because they say, I've heard it said, the number one thing about most important thing in stand-up comedy is audience engagement. And you have to engage with the audience. And to me, the difference between being natural and a little more ad-libish versus completely memorizing your set is the difference between going to see comedy versus going to see a movie. You go to see a movie, it's going to be the same every time you see it. You go to see stand-up comedy, even if you see the same guy, there's going to be different, well, actually, not always, be different every time. Some comedians do the exact same set every time, and then I don't go back and see them again.
Jonathan just said stand-up comedy is like sex, 90% improv and 10% knowledge.
See, you're doing it all wrong. I think sex is 90% knowledge and 10% improv.
Well, I have a strong opinion about this. And my opinion is...
strong opinions about everything.
I do. It's the Polish redhead in me.
You go, girl.
I have heard some people say one method is the right way and one method is the wrong way.
Well, that's wrong. Right
there
away.
You go. That's what I'm going to say. It's like, no. I think they are both very different methods to do it, but I think that is a very much individualized, whatever works for you. Now, I have seen some people memorize them word for word, as you said, and did a terrible job at it. I mean, it sounds like a local community theater that's horrible. So in that regard, you need to rehearse it more so it sounds unrehearsed.
You don't want someone standing up there sounding like they're reading the encyclopedia.
Like what?
My first joke goes like this. I was literally funny last night, and I had a good laugh, and don't you guys laugh. You're interrupting my joke, and I will keep on talking even though you're laughing because I don't know what to do because this is how I memorized it.
Jonathan said there is no wrong way. Well, it's perform comedies. Exactly. So whatever works.
I disagree with that. There is a wrong way. The wrong way is when nobody laughs and you keep doing the same thing. That's called insanity.
Well, it says as long as the audience reacts, I would think.
Yes.
But, yeah, I mean, it's an interesting conversation that you bring up. As you well know, I overanalyze everything to death.
No.
And I know, hard to believe. But I also have a Toastmasters background. And part of that is same thing, you rehearse it until it sounds unrehearsed. And I've also heard Ian and Nat speak about different styles. Ian is very much fly by the seat of the pants, work it out, take it to stage. I've heard Nat talk about how he likes to play around with words. Do you put this first or that first? Or do you? So, yeah, it's very much a personalized, thanks to Carrot Top. At any rate, yeah, you're right. When somebody sounds rehearsed, I'm not a fan of that, but I don't think there's anything wrong with memorizing it as long as you're getting ready to do your little zipper zapper, aren't you? No. Is that what you're holding? What are you holding? Jareth Johnson, what's in your hand? Show me your hands.
He said Carrot Top. I think he was referring to you. You look like Carrot Top.
Yes, I do. Thank you.
You're better. You're better looking. So
I think we have the same eye makeup on though. Anyway, so for me, the confidence comes in knowing what I'm talking about, specifically as it relates to stand-up. Now, when I'm doing more corporate work and I'm speaking, I like to memorize my jokes. My material, I'm already a subject matter, and so I don't need to memorize that. I already know what I'm talking about, but I want to make sure that joke lands. Why are you smirking? Somebody recently yelled at me and I don't follow the science of comedy. Oh, well, I'm sure that greatly upset you that they yelled at you, huh, Jonathan? Was it a creditable source?
Was it Bill Nye's the comedy guy? All right. So Ian likes to do sports analogies, and I was thinking about that, and I've got, I think personally, for me, the perfect analogy. I ride dirt bikes. I ride observed trials. If you don't know what that is, I ride my bike over big rocks and logs and stuff, and you can't put your feet down. You get a point when you put your foot down. It's like golf in that respect. So if I want to go over a really big rock, there's a technique for that. It's called the double blip, let's just say, for example, or a splatter, depending on the size of the rock. So I have to practice that double blip or that zap maneuver so I know how to execute it, because when the time comes to execute it, there's no time to think about it. I have to just do it without thinking about it. So I practice. But when I'm at a competition, but when I'm at a competition, all the rocks have different shapes and different sizes. They may be grassy, mossy, muddy. There's all different types of rocks. I use the same basic technique, but it's varied for every single rock I ever go up. And when I go to a competition, you can't practice in this sport. So I have to figure out how I'm going to go up that rock just by looking at it, by having tons of practice going up rocks ahead of time. So to me, comedy's like that. I want to practice my comedy, know what I'm going to say, know how I'm going to say it. I need to have stage presence. I need to know how to learn how to speak first. And then, do my comedy. But I should have the ability to vary as I need to vary for every audience. Each audience is like a different rock. Hopefully they're not rocks. Hopefully they're laughing, because that's why I'm there. It's the only reason I do this, is to hear people laugh. You're not laughing. Laugh while you laugh. That's better. Oh, you just made my whole day. Now I'm glad I got up to damn early. Okay, stop.
Oh. See, I'm pretty good at faking it when I need to.
You're good at faking it.
Those skills come in handy.
Yeah. I don't know about that.
That's good. Had you going, didn't I? No, I know what you're saying, though. It's muscle memory. You have to practice enough so you're prepared for anything. It's not that you're so rigid that you can't adapt if need be.
We're getting married, and our last name is going to be Hand.
Oh, I thought you were proposing to me. I'm like,
and his name is Sean, so it's going to be Sean and Sean, Mr. and Mrs. Sean and Sean Hand. That's a bit unusual. I can see that you could make a lot of jokes. Oh, I missed the previous. I can't tell which way these comments are coming. I guess it was the after. This is from Sean. Are you reading this? Our business name will be called Hand Jobs, or Sean's Hand Jobs. Oh, this is great. This is awesome. I'm so happy for you. I gotta go find me a guy. I gotta go find me a guy named Hand. See if he'll get me a job.
Is this where you want me to laugh again? That's not nice. That's not nice, Jareth Johnson. All right, Jonathan has a question. No, be serious. Doing open mics in front of other comedians. I think it's useless.
I won't be serious. This is the green room where everybody's funny. Sorry, I stepped on your joke, your words. Go ahead. Your turn.
I was just reading Jonathan's question, but it seems like a statement. I think he wants to know our opinion on that, maybe?
Oh God, that's the wrong thing to do.
Hey, do you need more coffee? You're kind of rascally in the morning.
No, that's the problem. I've only had coffee on an empty stomach. So yes, I'm already wired. I'm wired for sound.
All right. So your opinion about doing open mics in front of other comics? He said, I think it's useless.
My opinion on that is real easy. I've done that one, and I have a definite opinion on that. I hate it. Hate it. There's actually three things. First, I find that most of the comedians, whenever I've done an open mic in front of other comedians, you're just usually not paying any attention. They're busy taking notes, working on, scribbling notes on what they're going to do. Or maybe they're writing my jokes down. I don't know what they're doing. I noticed they're either in their smartphone or they're taking notes, but they're just not paying attention. And it's really hard to make a comedian laugh. And I'm the same way. When I'm watching other comedians, I don't laugh. There's something wrong with the sound. I didn't hear anything. So I don't laugh so much when I'm watching other comedians because I'm analyzing the hell out of what they're doing. It's like, that joke wasn't funny. And that joke was pretty good. I like that. That gives me an idea. So to me, that is pretty useless. What an open mic full of comedians is good for is just getting up in front of the mic. When I first got in front of the mic, I was scared to death. So I didn't want to get up in front of a big crowd. Well, I take that back. Actually, it was the places that had bigger crowds with real audience that really laughed that I had the most fun, even in the beginning. So I guess it doesn't really matter for the fear factor. But, oh, Dave Mike Springer, how's it going? This is the Jerry Springer Show. All right, David.
So did I hear you say basically that
I used to drive trucks with David, and we've been out to Wall Road, Minnesota many times. And I was just talking about that. I think he might have missed that bit, but it's good to see Dave. And the third thing I wanted to say was there is an open mic I've been to several times up in Lewiston, Auburn area, and they call it a open mic workshop. You tell your jokes, and then when you get done, you ask for feedback if you want it. Some people don't want criticism, so they'll say no, but most people will ask for feedback, and all the comedians that are there, and it's not a big place, it's usually not more than 8 or 10, they'll give you feedback on what you'd said, which to me is very beneficial, because now you're getting feedback from, say, 8 different comedians with different points of view, as opposed to, you know, telling your sister a joke who has a definitely different outlook on my joke than a comedian has. So that to me is very beneficial for working on jokes, but it's not really beneficial for working with an audience, because working with an audience to me is a whole different set of skills than just telling the joke. That's just another skill that you need to learn. Steve Riviere is watching. Oh, now I feel like a real pro. We got real comedians watching. Josh, shouldn't you be at work? Josh is one of my regular comedians. Has been coming to my open mic every single week since I started it. Josh is awesome. He started hosting in Rochester, but not really his. He goes there on a regular basis. They've been letting him do some hosting, which is awesome. So he's getting his feet into it good too. Good for Josh. Okay, I'm done interrupting.
No, I'm just checking the comments.
I'm sure I've missed. If I missed anybody, I apologize. I'm having trouble. I can't talk and read comments at the same time. Squirrel. I have bad ADD. I have to focus on one thing. It's difficult.
So I have a question about what you just said. That open mic workshop, it sounds more like a class, or do they present it like a typical open mic, but then they just run it differently?
It's really like a typical open mic in that it's in a restaurant. It's a really small room. It's smaller than the one I do, which is small. And comedians show up, and there's usually no more than 4 people sitting there eating that are not comedians. It's just one end of a small room, and it's usually, well, I've only been there 3 times, I think, so I shouldn't really say usually, but the few times I've been there, what I've experienced is mostly comedians, maybe a couple people eating. So it's pretty low key, and if you don't ask for feedback, then it's just like a regular open mic. People just tell their jokes and you move on.
Well, that's what I was going to say. As a customer, I'm not sure how much, if I'm trying to eat my calamari and then somebody's trying to say, "Yeah, your joke needs to be reworked." And it's like, well, do this on your own time. I'm just here to eat. But then also, even whenever you ask comedians, you need to take that with a grain of salt, because, I mean, look, sometimes you ask me about jokes. I'm like, I don't get it. But it's not that I'm stupid. It's just that I'm not your audience. So it's like, so don't ask. I'm not the right person to ask. If your people understand what you're saying, then that's really all that matters. I'm just not your people.
Jonathan says, so it's a chat and chew. Well, actually, you'd be a really good person to bounce jokes off of if I decided I wanted to go on the road. You know, because then I won't be just telling jokes to the usual Mainers up here in New England. Yeah, blah.
Forrest Gump.
Ozzy, welcome to the Green Room. Tell her about the bikers. Did I tell you about the bikers? I think I have.
You did.
That was a pretty good time.
All right, so
Josh, was it Josh or the other guy? It was a new guy, I think. I can't remember his name. It's on the tip of my tongue. One of the bikers is like you guys ever heard of the Gong Show? Josh started giving them a really hard time. I thought he was going to get beat up. We were checking to see if they were standing around outside waiting for us.
All right, my dear, it is 10:30. I have had about 7 cups of coffee, and I'm on my 3rd cup of iced tea right now. So that means that I'm going to wet my pants if I sit here much longer. So I'm thinking I'm about ready to skedaddle on out of here. But if you want to keep chatting away to others, or bring somebody else on, or whatever you want to do, but my bladder's not going to last much longer.
Jonathan says, okay, another question. I was writing a bit and got painted into a corner. I asked some other comedians to help me figure out a punch. I spent more time explaining the joke to them than the joke. Not really sure if I understand that. Writing a bit and got painted into the corner. Bit on hand jobs. Well, all I can say is any bit on hand jobs is going to have to be extra good because dick jokes are as common as tap water. Unless you're in Southern California.
Sweetheart, aren't you mixing up Sean's and Jonathan's questions? Sean's still talking about hand jobs.
Because I didn't know what to say and you had to leave.
You need me. No, I have just I've told the world that I need to tinkle now.
Do you want me to play some music while you go and come back? Now that we've got such a big audience?
Well, you're free to do that. I won't be very long. I'm only going to... Jonathan, I'm saying from what I'm reading is that if you have to explain the joke, then maybe the joke needs more work. Or was it very regional or something that only certain people would get?
Yeah.
All right. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Easy with the microphone. So usually what I do is if somebody tells me that they don't get the joke and I have to explain it, I might say 1 or 2 quick things like, I don't know what, but generally speaking, my answer is, I'll see you later, Josh. Don't work too hard. I would like to come on for a minute to explain. I don't explain. I just tell them, if I have to explain the joke, then the joke, it's no good. So I just go back and either rewrite the joke or just say, forget it, that joke is going nowheres. A lot of times Laurie doesn't get my main humor because it's very regional a lot of the time. Like I keep saying, hey, yeah, baba. I've decided that's my new catchphrase. I'm going to see how that catches on. Because I've been saying that forever anyway, so all I got to do is say it at the right. Hey, yeah, baba. And she's like, I don't get it. What does that mean? And in this case, it doesn't matter. It's just a catchphrase. It doesn't matter if you know what it means or not. It's just something I say, like
much better.
Dynamite doesn't really mean anything, right? Can you hear me now?
Everything came out all right. Thanks for asking.
Breaker one night. Yeah, breaker for that redhead. How about a redhead? You get a copy on me? Come on, bring it back.
Ooh, that was a close call.
This is a rubber ducky here, and you all get a coffee? Come on.
What did I miss? It was a setup that I needed.
I was just saying that you didn't get my catchphrase, "Hey, baba."
I still don't understand that. Whenever you say "Aya Baba," you sound like
"Aya Baba" is just like saying "Yes, ma'am." Yes,
I think
sir.
you made that up or something. Nobody knows what that means.
Well, that's good. That means everyone else isn't doing it. It's just like saying dynamite. Dynamite doesn't mean anything.
Not
it's just
really.
Who was the guy that said that? I don't even remember who it was.
J.J. Walker. But no, I don't think is the same as dynamite. I don't.
Okay, don't be insulting now.
No, I'm just saying
I'll kick you out of my green room.
I know you to be a very intelligent man with a brain that is huge. But when you say "Hey, baba," you don't sound like it.
Yeah, baba.
Yeah, I'm just saying you're. I'll keep flashing y'all. Sorry. Jimmy Walker, it's right. 70s. See, we got a bunch of old folks here today with us.
Not all of them.
Well, got some young kids.
Hey, yeah, Bob.
Oh my gosh.
You know, I'm just going to say that more. All right, did we just beat this topic to death?
So, what is it? Monday. I got a busy week. You have a busy week? You working? What are you doing?
I'm working at 1 p.m. today. What time is it? Oh, I got time. I was going to say, I could be late for work. Hey, Paul. Welcome to the green room. Well, it's getting crowded in here. We're going to have to put an addition on the green room, make it bigger. Getting a lot of people in here. Oh, okay.
All right. Well, I don't really have anything exciting to say right now. I do have work to do. I'm working on, my thing. Same thing I'm always working on.
Your thing? Yeah, I'm. One of the things I like about my my new job is this an endless stream of comedy fodder. People just do the damnedest things. I don't think there's anything better than retail for making jokes. And I use I have to. Well, I don't have to, but I use my smartphone to look stuff up in the store because there's so much. I don't know where everything is. So I almost always have my smartphone in my hand. If someone says something funny, I just flip it over to notes and make a quick note. Sean says, would you have time for a one-on-one? Could you be more specific? One-on-one?
That sounds like a proposition. She just got done talking about hand jobs, and now she's marketing it, girl.
I was going to say that, but I thought I shouldn't. I'm glad you said it.
Please elaborate, Sean.
Life is material. I'm a bartender. Oh my God! How could you you get so much material as a bartender? You wouldn't even have to write it down. You just try to remember the top 5 of the day. Hand job. Okay.
She's just shouting out random innuendos, I think. Why do these keep falling out? Do I have odd-shaped ears?
I don't know. They're covered up with your carrot hair.
I don't know. I don't like these. A girl has to make a living. Yeah, indeed. I hear you, sister.
I sure do. But I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Running around with an orange apron on. Pour me a drink. Robin Williams said that. Oh, I heard that like 20 years ago. I've heard lots of people say that. I like that line. I didn't know Robin Williams said it though. That's interesting.
Hey, wasn't it just Robin's birthday? I thought somebody paid tribute to him and wished him a happy birthday.
Yeah,
was he a July baby?
I doubt he heard them.
Well, maybe he did. I guess nobody really knows for certain.
Nobody really knows for certain. Robin Williams was awesome.
Allow for the possibility.
I would love to be like Robin Williams, but alive.
Oh, I was going to say, I'm
not that depressed. I know depression and anxiety and all that crap is common amongst comedians, but I'm not ready to take myself out yet. I think I need to go on the road first before I get to that level.
All right, well, for real, I'm going to go because now that I took care of business, these ear things are bugging me. So there's always something that's bugging me, so I'm going to go. How about that?
Okay. Well, this was fun. Remember, the green room's always open, so come in anytime. You never know when we're going to be in the green room doing this, so you guys just be sure to check back in the green room from time to time. If you're getting ready to do your set and you're bored, just stick your head in the green room and see if we're here. And we will tell some jokes and give some advice, and tell you to do things you shouldn't probably do, and so on and so forth.
And maybe you'll even play your little zipper zapper for him, too. Your Dia Gula. Did you figure out how to pronounce that yet?
Of course I did.
Okay. Can I just...
I love it when I can make a woman react.
If I just X myself out, will I just see myself out? Or do you got to
Yeah,
close this out?
Sean's, if you're talking to me, you have my, we're friends on Facebook, so you can go ahead and send me a message. And I don't know if you're friends with Laurie. I'm sure she'll let you
I
send her
think
a message.
so.
Or you can ask if you're not already, right? But,
Yes to all of the above. I think I owe somebody else an email that we were supposed to get
all
together
right.
last week. But
Thanks to everybody who stopped in to visit us in the green room, and we will see you the next time we bump into each other here. Have a
adios,
wonderful
amoebas.
day.
Bye.
Adios.